Hello, peeps. What it do? What it do? Welcome to the High Level Nerd channel. It is me, fellow nerd, fellow gamer, fellow cosplayer, fellow stoner, fellow nerd. And it sucks that I have to do this again. I have recorded this episode, whatever, and audio got messed up. It wasn't it I couldn't just upload it. And I'm have to do this again. Who would have thought I'd be talking about my least favorite Halloween movie, the one that doesn't have Michael Myers, twice. But I'll try to, I already talked about it, so I feel like I'm not gonna talk about it as much because for me to talk about this movie twice is just unbearable, especially if you were able to hear what I had to say before. I'll try to repeat most of what I said, maybe something I missed, but you know, yeah, I'm gonna get right into this one because it's Halloween 3. No Michael Myers. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, I think, probably helped produced it. John Carpenter wrote it, but it's not credited, along with someone else who is uncredited. But Tommy Lee Wallace is the director of Halloween 3, and I'll tell you now, folks, it is it is my least favorite because it has nothing to do with the story. It no Michael Myers is in this. It follows. It tries to. It's like it's almost as if like, oh, the second one sequel, Michael Myers dies, being burned up. You see him come out the flames, even though he's wearing a freaking flame suit. Something I forgot to mention that last one. Yeah, so obviously he was wearing some dude in a flame suit, and then he drops, and you're obviously to believe that Michael is actually dead in that one, and that now we are to come across this new horror monster figure in this Michael Myers world. But it is not that. It is not this Michael Myers world. It's not. No one in this movie knows any of those events, like of some dude that just went around killing people. And honestly, it has its moments. I'll give it that. That it has its horror moments. But when it comes to Michael Myers, which is a character that I love, there's no Michael Myers in it. So that's a big, you know, hard for me to get into it. But it follows this weird doctor who, I guess, some dude, like, because it starts out with some dude, like, running away from, like, these, what I thought it was, aliens at first, but it's not. It's by these, later on we learn that they're, like, androids, weird androids, because instead of, like, blood or, like, oil, even, it's like some yellow ooze or whatever. It's really very weird, and yeah, some wires. But yeah, and then these androids are about to kill this dude, and then he kills them. Which the way they like the music in this is just so it feels a little off-putting for me. But yeah, and then he goes to this hospital. Doctor helps him out, played by Tom Atkins, the doctor, and he's good. He is the star of this movie, indeed. The only actor I feel like is trying in this movie, and because he's really the only one we really follow. And there is another there is another um actress who follows him around, Stacy, played by Ellie. No, wait, Stacy's her real name. Stacy Neckhem. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I'm so bad with names. uh, Nelkin. Stacy Nelkin. And yeah, she was Ellie Grimbridge. The doctor, she's the daughter of the dude that was in the hospital because the androids came back, finished the job. Then the girl wants to find out these killers. The doctor helps her for I don't know what reason. Why does this doctor help her? Like, I get it, plot, but it doesn't seem any. It just seems so odd because I guess because the dude died on his watch, he feels like it's his responsibility to help this girl find her killer. So they go on a road trip because I guess they got some lead or whatever because he was holding one of these masks, silver shamrock masks. Which, by the way, these masks are just weird. They're so weird. Like the whole reason, like, is crazy because in future Halloween movies, these masks would become somewhat of a like little cameos, I would say, uh, throughout future Halloween movies, more of the recent ones. Um, but yeah, it's in the Silver Shamrock and the girl on TV. They advertise these masks. Every kid apparently in this town or in the freaking world apparently has these freaking masks because you won't see a kid with any other mask other than these Shamrock masks. And it's like a goblin, a skeleton, and a pumpkin, a pumpkin head, and they're just simple, ordinary masks. Like even Tom Atkins tries to give like these kids these masks and like Party City regular masks, which, but they're like, nah, we have these Shamrock masks, whatever. So the doctor and the girl go on a road trip, and yeah, it's basically them going on a road trip. All of a sudden, this doctor becomes like a detective, and it's funny. He gives me like that Magnum PI look, because he has like it's the mustache, it's the stash. This dude has one hell of a stash. I'll give him that. um, but yeah, they go on the road trip, and it becomes like they try to force this romance on us, and it's like some people would be like, it's a little creepy because this dude's like, how old is this girl or something? I don't know. But they end up getting very sexual, especially when they go to a motel and some scenes become very, very hot. Like, hot. And yeah, and it's just like, it wouldn't be a Halloween movie without, some boob action or someone having sex or something. Except in previous Halloween's movie, when people have sex, they die. So, yeah, and then yeah, they just have this relationship, and it's okay, I guess. I mean, like I said, it's forced, but it's whatever. It's not so much you would like to believe like that. Oh, like they're in love with each other. I guess I have no idea what's connecting these two. Honestly, what the search for her father's killer? That's what's connecting them. Um, but yeah, and they do that, and then ends up being this main business guy. He's behind it all. He basically just uh he basically just has these androids, and he wants to make these masks and have these kids wear them, and on Halloween they'll watch this network, and when they do that, it has their logo on it, which has a chip in it, which activates and triggers something that makes their heads melt, whatever. Someone was messing around with it at one point, and she activated the laser part, and it shot like right through her mouth. Which the makeup in this movie is very outstanding. I'll give them that too. The makeup is crazy. Like I said, it's not a Michael Myers movie, but it's a horror movie, and they try to give you those horror aesthetics and shit, and it works. It really works as a horror movie if you were able to understand almost what's going on, because it is hard to follow. You really don't know what's going on until almost like even almost like the third act, even if not past that. But it's hard to follow, and when you probably would have to watch it multiple times to even understand it, and it just everything just comes out of like nowhere with like new stuff. Like you just start knowing about these stuff as it goes on, and you're just like, oh, okay, okay, okay. But at the same time, you're also like, why? Because the reason why this dude does this whole reason why he wants to melt kids' heads for some reason, I really don't know, and I don't think, it's probably there. I probably would have to watch it again, but I don't know if I would actually do that. But yeah, I don't know why he does it, and you know, it's just it's very almost like James Bond ish, very James Bond's detective. He's going around this whole facility trying to get answers, trying to almost escape because at some point they take his girl, and yeah, and he's trying to get her back, he's trying to get these answers, and they even gave us a demonstration of the mass melting kids' heads with one scene where they tested on this one kid with his parents wanted to do was like a salesman for the guy, and the mask that they're producing, and they tested on his son, and it is a gruesome scene. It is horrific. This is why this is a horror movie, and I've seen. Maybe it's because of me, because bugs kind of like freak me out a little bit, especially if it's a lot of them and there's more. It kind of reminds me of the scene when Liu Kang like punches like reptile in the first Mortal Kombat movie, and you see all those like worms and bugs. He's like, "Oh no, you don't!" And he just keeps on kicking and just swarming. You just see them all fall out and all that stuff. Like that's basically what it looked like when this kid's head was melting, and it is, and the parents just freak out. They faint. You start seeing snakes come out of his head. Like, oh my god! Like this is a horrible plan, like for this dude to do this, but it's he does it basically. Oh, you don't see it happen, but because the dude, you know, he ends up obviously destroying all these androids by using their own thing against them with the chips, and they all fry up and shit like that, and then it activates like like it activates the most craziest light show I've ever seen in my life, because apparently there was a huge block of ice, which I'm assuming is the ice, looks like ice, that was always there. You see like these lights flash around, and then the main dude, the business guy, the boss, evil bad guy, is like looking at it, smiles, and then he turns into ice, and then everything just blows up. And at this point, if you're hard on following me, even explaining this, I completely understand, because sometimes I don't even know what the hell I am saying, because this movie is nothing of a Michael Myers movie. And yeah, the dude, like I said, that dude that directed it, he did that. John Carpenter wrote it. Along with him, Tommy Lee Wallace, the director slash writer. And this is also one of like this is like his first movie debut before he starts directing other stuff. Of course, like the other director, he starts doing more Halloween-ish type stuff, or stuff with like that involves probably this guy Magnum. No, Tom Atkins was in like other stuff like Hawaii Five O. He's been doing a lot of stuff even up to this day. He's an amazing actor. He carried this movie because his acting is astounding. Like he does everything, going around this facility, rescuing people, going against like fighting these weird androids, even to the end, which is a horrific ending of him just going up against to this gas station, and he sees a dude that helped the guy in the beginning that brought him to the hospital to see him, the dude owning that gas station. Like funny that he was in the beginning of the movie, not at the end of the movie. And Tom Atkins goes to him. He's like, "Can I use your phone?" He used the phone, calls like the TV station. They're like, "You gotta take this off the air. Kids that watch this with the mask on, their heads are gonna melt, so you gotta take it off the air." I don't know if he was talking to the TV station or whoever, but for them to hear him and believe him, they did it. They turned on the station because there was kids that came in by wearing the mask, watching the channel, and he's like, and the gas station dude was just hand him candy, like, "Yeah, take some candy," and like, the dude's like, Tom Atkins like standing there like screaming on the phone, and you're just like, okay, but he does, and they change the network. They shut the network down. The kid goes to the next channel. They're playing it there. They shut it down. Goes to the next channel. They're playing it there, but they're leaving it on. And he's like, "Wait, the third channel is still on third channel. You have to take it off. Take it off now. Take it off." And Tom Atkins is just acting and screaming his lungs off in that scene, and it is astounding. And at that point, you're also like, "What the fuck? Like, did they turn it off? Like, does all the kids die or something?" And it ends there, and you're just not even astounded by the ending, but more by like Tom Atkins acting, because you're just like, Jesus, like. But it's a movie. It's a horror movie. The deaths, okay, the androids, the way they kill people, some of them mostly is like just them ripping people's heads off. weird, and they killed one woman by like getting one of them got like a drill and just drilled right into her head, and I'm just like Jesus, like that's. I mean, you don't really see that mostly, but stuff other than that, it's very insane. And the girl, she ends up dying off screen because he ends up rescuing her at one point. And when he thought he was out of the facility with her, he finds out that she's an android. And yes, and she tried to kill him, so he had to end up killing her. And yes, it has made us to believe that she died off screen when they captured her at one point, and that's messed up because not only does she get an not only does she die, but she gets an off-screen death. It's a horror movie. If you love a horror movie, this is for you. If you love androids, I guess, and weird deaths, the score, it gave me that horror feeling ish. The score, like it gave me. What's funny? They had parts of the score from the first Halloween movie. Not even from the second, but the first, the original. And it sounded amazing. It was good to hear that. Some of it, they try to copy the aesthetics of the first one, like at a moment when Michael Myers will pop up and you'll hear, like I said before, like you hear like a piano like thing go by. And it gives me the chills every time. And and they try to do it with this one, but it was like a weird tone that they use, and it threw me off. I was not feeling it. But you know, it's a movie. It's a horror movie. Like I keep saying, it's a horror movie. It is. It has those traits of a horror movie. Is it a Michael Myers movie? Not really. They did do a tribute when before because all they show was that weird theme song that's stuck in my head and it's so annoying. Kind of a little creepy too. So it fits. But before they show that channel, um, they showed before like a commercial saying, "Oh, Halloween, you know, about to be on TV, rated R." The Halloween, the Michael Myers Halloween, the first one. I'm just like, wait, what? Like, so they're not in the Michael Myers universe. That's how I know. And but they Michael Myers movies exist in this universe. So, it's a universe within a universe. Now, it's truly insane. But yes, like my score for this one, 3 out of 10. I said it before. Halloween 3 gets a 3. It's not. It doesn't fit for me as a Michael Myers Halloween movie. And I like John Carpenter. He didn't. He wrote half some of it, and he didn't direct it. And some of John Carpenter's visualizations of how he shoots certain things was just amazing in that first one. How a frame will stay still for a certain amount of time, or you keep going back to that frame and you use that same frame for most of the majority, like the front of the house. Like they use it in the first Halloween movie. At the end, they were showing just frames of stills of locations, and those locations is what is like the template of the Halloween movie, and you use those templates and you put those characters in those templates and you play out the story like that, and that's what I like. But this was, it was mostly took place in a facility other than a road trip and some parts in a hospital. But it's it is what it is. And these androids, they looked weird. They were all just wearing suits. Um, they were looking like Agent Smiths from Agent Smiths from Matrix. Yeah, Halloween 3. I forgot to say Season of the Witch because there was no witches in this movie. I don't know why they called it that. I think there was a reason. They probably explained a bit. Like I said, hard to follow. Yeah, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch gets a 3 out of 10. That's my score. That's all I have to say about this because the last video I did for this was much longer. This one I kind of just ran through it of my review on it because it's that's how much of I care about this movie. To no fault of the people behind it, it's not for me, and that's my opinion. So that's all I have to say about this. I hope this was helpful to you too, because this is not something I recommend. But if you want to watch this on your own, go right ahead for Tom Atkins acting, because I'll say that's the only thing that is truly just something. Which he doesn't speak that much either, so it tells a lot. Especially that ending. That ending is even worth watching just on YouTube. So hope you enjoyed this. Um, like I would say subscribe, but no one ever does. So just like the video. At least do that. Like the video. Follow me on Instagram. Same as this. High level nerd. Two eyes. Want to know a little more about me, what I does, what I do's, what I all that. So thank you for joining, whoever watches, and I'll catch you next time for Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, because he actually does return. Stay frosty.